What were the thoughts on moving Luke up to the 2 hole, and then obviously with it paying off, him hitting that homer in the first inning?
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, we didn't have the lineup set until after batting practice, and he was pretty keyed in today. And he's also been in that spot before. The nice thing about if you got the leadoff guy on, he puts together, a lot of long at bats and is typically competing. But right there, I mean, the guy's stronger than an ox, and so to get it through the wind like he and Belk did, takes a little bit of strength. And fortunately, he did it early because to get out to an early lead was key for us today.
What did you see from Chase Dollander in his first SEC start?
He was composed, in my opinion, and I don't know what he had to say there. He and I haven't discussed, but I don't think he necessarily had his best stuff on the off-speed side of things. But the fastball was coming out good, and he kind of had to rely on it a little bit, and was able to do so again because I think he was composed and didn't build the whole thing up into too much. I mean, him and Chase are, I think competitive guys, so sometimes maybe you want to outdo the other guy, and again, you can try and do too much. But he showed up, pitched, gave us 5 innings and a chance to win, so we'll take that every time.
Was it kind of a tough decision to let him go back out there for the fifth and try to earn himself the win? I think you had over 80 pitches through 4 and a lot of high stress also.
Yeah, you saw him at 82, but we've kind of gradually built the guys up. So A, they should be fresh, but B, they should be in a position now where they can get to 90 at the very least, and then maybe they feel taxed or a little bit drained. And some of it too is based on how the game goes. And we thought he was in a good spot, and heck, could have even ran him back out there in the 6th. But right at that 100 mark and feeling confident in our bullpen, we thought that was the move to make.
So as a team, you have more walks than strikeouts. What does that kind of say about your offensive group?
That's difficult to do. In particular, I mean, the one thing we look at is, hit by pitch, are you getting down there at first base more often than you're striking out when the ball's not put in play is something that if you can do it as a hitter individually, much less as a team, it's definitely a weapon in your back pocket. So I think it kind of goes back to the one of the questions we were talking about last night is our key is just competitive at-bats. And fans like to see the home runs, but I believe they hit just as many as we did today. I mean, those will come and go, but the competitive at-bats need to be there 1 through 9, and then they got to be there through an entire series now that we're in SEC play from Friday to Sunday, because every inning affects, every inning.
Will Mabry coming in there for Chase. What did you see from him? He struggled a little bit today, but he bounced back.
Yeah, I mean, I hate giving Will too many compliments because we dissed him so much as a freshman, and he's not afraid to laugh at himself, which is why, again, I mentioned some clubhouse favorites. He's up there for sure, but he's also kind of a coaching favorite right now, and then in the future when he's not around, it'll be easier to talk about him. And so look at how this guy's developed. I mean, he makes a great play on the mound. I think he's a good defender now, whereas freshman year maybe he wasn't. Freshman year it was more, hey, go get him for a short stint and air it out, and then we probably need to come get you. And now he's kind of worked himself into a deal where he can give us a lot of different things, including a long outing. I think the last time was 4 innings. So he maybe could have matched that today, but we liked handing the ball off to Redmond there in the 9th.
Is there a way you guys can, find the happy medium between being aggressive versus making too many outs on the base pass?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to make mistakes, you'd rather be aggressive. And, Coach I got my say every now and then, but Coach Elander, runs the offense and does a great job of it. I think, one of the reasons we're productive offensively is because of him. And he kind of has his phrase to correct those things. So I think we made one mistake kind of eye-wise, and then Cortland plays the game hard and saw an advantage. So the 2 mistakes were a little different. But either way, if you're going to make them, you'd rather err on the side of being aggressive and having some conviction to you.
So Dickey's struggling, kind of start SEC play. Is that just the law of averages kind of playing out, or do you see anything?
Yeah, I am a believer in the law of percentages. It's a law, so you can't argue it's not going away. But at the same time, he's had some decent at-bats, put himself in an advantage count today. But, Sanders has got good stuff. Hall's got good stuff. So you shouldn't expect to go up there and just bash it around the park. But he's a good base runner, good defender. When he's in the lineup, he's a great teammate. Everybody's happy. So we're willing to ride out the waves or the fluctuation and how the results come.
Redmond coming on in there to close it on out. He's tied for second all time in saves now. What's it like to have a guy like Redmond you can depend on to go out there?
It's great. I mean, as far as our coaching staff and the decisions go, but Redmond's great to have around in general. I've said it a million times when we first got here. We thought he was a manager. We didn't know he was one of the pitchers we were inheriting. But what a blessing to inherit him as a pitcher, but even more so as a kid. He's just the epitome of what you're looking for not just a kid to coach, but just a guy you want to hang around.
Got any plans for the game today?
A couch for sure. I got family in town, and they were talking about going this place or that place, and I'm only going to my place. So if they want to join, that's fine, but it'll be fun to watch, what goes on. It's two big names, and maybe Coach Barnes can win the game and then tell Coach Howard to send his son our way, even though he committed to them.
First SEC series win of the year. What do you want to see from your team coming in tomorrow?
It's crazy. It's a long way away. This is the biggest gap I think you can have because it's a noon start and then a 1 start. The biggest gap you really can have based off the TV schedules. So manage their time the right way, and then wake up tomorrow hungry. And I think if they do those things, it'll show in pregame and stuff like that. And I'm a big believer if the leading up part is good, then the game part will be fine. There'll be mistakes we're talking about tomorrow too, being aggressive or whatever it might be. But manage their time the right way. We give them all kinds of responsibility, and I think the game will take care of itself. Although we're seeing a heck of a lefty. Kind of a similar matchup tomorrow that should be fun for you guys that were good football players in high school. They're both tough. They're not freshmen, stuff-wise, or the way they compete.